Hello, and welcome to the Kitty Cat Lane. My name is Lane, and today I have a special collaboration video to share with you all. Our special guest artist today is Cozy Compendium. We both got the same character description as a prompt, and from there we put our own interpretations into our designs without discussing our ideas with each other. We both had our own unique spin on the character, but we also ended up thinking along the same route as each other for a few of the things. We got the randomly generated prompt from this site, and here's the description that we generated. Blue, short hair almost fully covers a bony, warm face. Woeful hazel eyes, set narrowly within their sockets, watch vigilantly over the people they've watched over for so long. A beard seductively complements his mouth and leaves an intriguing memory of his fortunate destiny. This is the face of Binflonk Stormgage, a true prodigy among gnomes. He stands graciously among others, despite his tough frame. There's something curious about him. Perhaps it's his sensitivity, or perhaps it's simply his composure. But nonetheless, people tend to wish to get to know him better, while awkwardly avoiding talking about his past. Pretty cool, huh? Once we were both done with our designs, we showed each other what we did. It was so cool getting to see and hear about each other's character design throughout the process. I'm going to briefly walk you through my process and tell you more about this character before turning it over to the recording of the big reveal. So, here we go! After I read the description a few times and tried to figure out the key parts that I wanted to try and incorporate in the first sketch, I tried giving him a bony face, short hair, and a more tough body frame, along with a bigger nose and large pointed ears to try and show the gnome features. Then I tried again, this time putting a little more details into the face to try and get it a little closer to what I wanted. I kept thinking back to the first call that Cozy and I had where we generated the prompt, and how when we first got to the seductive beard part, we were just dying laughing. It was just so funny. I made a joke about maybe the beard being heart-shaped, and that's what made it seductive. So, I don't know, I just kept thinking about that, and I decided to roll with it. I was a little concerned that the beard would cover up the bony face, but I figured I could just make it so that the cheekbones were still visible and well-defined, as well as making his skin more loose-fitting on his face. After that, I thought it might be cute to make the hair and eyebrows heart-shaped too. So I parted his hair to create a heart-shaped silhouette, as well as giving him a widow's peak hairline so that the bare part of his face also looked kinda heart-shaped-esque too. I also defined his brows a little more to make them kind of heart-shaped as well. I tried to sketch out a few poses that felt like they fit the description for his personality before finding one that I liked. He looks like he's concerned or speculating something. It's still more of an extra pose that shows his personality than a more straightforward pose that I could show off his outfit and design, but I decided to switch things up for a bit and do some common expressions before moving back to drawing the body. I drew a more distraught-faced, since the description said he's sensitive. I took that as he cares deeply for the people that he's been watching over. Next, I sketched more of a half-body of him, looking happy and proud of that same group. It was at this time that I was really feeling a dad vibe, and I started to think about his past that he tries to avoid. I thought maybe he wanted to be a dad but never got to be one, or maybe he once was a dad, but something tragic happened to his family that made him more weary over his new family-like group. And maybe that's why he has a woeful look in his eyes. I also drew some little flirtatious and stern expressions, just to round out his playful dad joke side, and the vigilant, protective, serious father figure side. I messed around with the proud, half-body look for a little while, but I just wasn't really pleased with it. So I started over with that, and drew a more simple full body that I could better work with the clothes, that also showed more of a friendly and approachable side of him. One that might lead people to want to get to know him a little better. After adding a few touch-ups and details to the sketches, I started trying to design an outfit that seemed to fit for this guy. Nothing quite felt right though, and I think that it was because I wasn't too sure of what this guy's background was yet. I had a rough idea, but I wanted to be able to show who he was and what he did through his choice of clothing, but when I didn't fully know who he was, I couldn't really tell what he would wear. So I took a little break from drawing him for a few days, and then, one day while I was out, I was hit with an idea. I pulled out my sketchbook and scribbled down some bullet points and doodled the outfit that I thought he might wear based off of this new information that I had just thought up. And here's what I came up with for his story. He started out as a blacksmith's apprentice at a young age. His skills seemed to progress faster than his mentor could teach him. He tried to distribute his time and energy fairly between his work and spending time with his family, but he slowly let his work take priority. One of his many long nights working, he accidentally fell asleep at his workshop, and an ember from the flames of his furnace started a fire that would travel from his workshop to their adjacent home. By the time he woke up, the flames had engulfed the house with his partner and child inside. And despite his best efforts to save them, it was too late. Years of regret and self-loathing went by before he found his new faith and purpose. He had forged and welded metal together for most of his life, and it was time to move on. Time to weld his broken heart back together so he could protect his new group of friends that he found. He vowed to look after and protect this group like he should have done for his family that he lost. Using his healing blue flames and his hammer, he became the party's cleric artificer and the dad of the group. He tries his best to be the best father figure that he can be, just like he always wanted to for his first family. Sometime after I doodled his outfit, and while I was still away from home, I used my iPad to plan out the colors that I would use so that when I got home to my computer, I could just go ahead and finish the art. I wanted his hair to look like a blue flame, with the roots becoming lighter from age and the ends looking more singed. He has some burn scars freckled across his face, ears, and fingers as well. I also gave him more wrinkles on his forehead and under his eyes to show how the grief and stress has aged him. I gave him more golden hazel eyes, and then made the trim of his smock cloth golden to tie it together. The rest of his outfit is made mostly with browns and neutral colors since his hair is just so bright. I didn't want it to be too overwhelming. I would have liked to have spent more time designing his hammer and giving him a shield, but for now, I think the well-worn hammer suits him. And I can always give him a shield sometime in the future, if I really want to. So now, for the grand finale, here are some highlights and reactions from when Cozy and I shared our characters with each other for the first look. This part of the call has been edited to cut out parts where I'm basically repeating what I've already said earlier in the video.
Oh, oh, he's wonderful. I love him.
Thank you.
Oh. I see you went with like tinkerer type, like very gnomish, very clear tinker type.
I went on to tell Cozy the backstory that I had shared earlier in the video, and a bit about my thought process.
Oh, but he's so cool. I like that. That's such a nice, like, tragic backstory. That's such a good, like, character to kind of just... Ah, that's cool.
Yay! I tried to, like, incorporate the little generated prompt in, like, the backstory, so...
Definitely, yeah, no. I can tell that, especially with like the mysterious past that he awkwardly avoids. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Do I have a little PTSD every time I set something on fire? Absolutely, but you don't have to worry about that.
I'm the dad of this group now. There was no previous family. What family? This is
what
my family.
Goes to the town that he accidentally set aflame. Guys. So about that.
Ignore the wanted poster. I mean, what?
What wanted poster? I have this beard now. Oh, yes, I love him. I love him so much. He's such a cool character.
Thank you, thank you. Moving on to Cozy's character. And this part of the call has been edited to showcase a preview of Cozy's character. Go watch Cozy's video for his full process and to learn more about his awesome character. Eee! Oh my god, look at this dude. Heck yeah.
This dude.
Oh my gosh, I love the little stitchings and ooh, the necklace. As Cozy was telling me all of the cool details and ideas that he had woven into the design of his character, I was even more blown away. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love this. Oh my gosh.
But we both went a similar route with cleric because that's actually what it was.
Heck yeah.
So whenever I first read it, the first two things that came to my mind was retiree and dad.
Yes.
So I asked, like, what do retirees often do? They go fishing.
Heck
He's
yeah.
become a fisherman.
He sent me 2 pictures, and for the majority of the time that he was telling me about his character, I was just in awe of the main drawing and enjoying hearing all about him. So much so that I hadn't even looked at the second picture yet.
I will say my favorite pose has to be actually the cracked back.
Hold on. Okay, I hadn't looked at that yet. Sorry. I was staring at the other one for so long. I do love the cracked back. Oh, that's so good. I love it. I love him. I love the little sneaky little at the the bottom one.
My thought was cat knife.
Yes! Yes! That's like the best meme.
It's one of the best memes.
Love it. A lot of this call was spent gushing over each other's characters, and it was definitely warranted. But in closing, Cozy and I talked about how much fun we had doing this collaboration, and our final thoughts on the challenge.
It really pushed me to like follow a specific set of rules, because usually when I make these characters I can like think up some of my own stuff, so I'd be like, okay, I don't want to do this part, so I'll just shift it.
Yeah, I definitely felt that, and like, I don't know, this is not the type of character that I normally find myself drawing, at least not like as my own character. I might draw like my friends' characters that are like this, but I don't know, I'm like, I could probably count the number of my characters that have a beard like on one hand, so I was like,
Same. Yeah, it makes it a lot of fun to like have to stretch that way, even if I kind of cocked out. I still think it's a seductive beard.
I cannot stress enough that Cozy definitely didn't cop out on anything, and that if you haven't seen it already, you are going to absolutely love learning all about his character in his video. I'll have a link in the description to his video and his channel. You can also check out his socials in the description too.
You can find me at Cozy Compendium, or you can find me at Cozy T or Cozy Art on Twitter and Instagram. Both those are available, you should be seeing, and yeah, I think that's it.
This was an absolute blast, and such a cool experience. A big thanks to Cozy Compendium for making this possible, and thank you all so very much for taking a walk down the kitty cat lane with me. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and here's the secret kitty of the day. Bye bye!